Hello.
Hello.
Hi everyone. Hi Dr. Hebbar.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Well, I suppose it's good evening for you, but
Yeah.
thank you so much.
No problems at all.
Wonderful. Happy Friday to everybody. Usually when we have a few minutes before we start, I ask people to just, maybe switch on their cameras and say hello. So if anybody would like to do that.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
Hi, Hema. You're on mute, Hema.
Okay. Namaskar. Namaste, Dr. Hebbar. I know it's very late for you, like 9:30 now.
No, not an issue at all.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us.
My pleasure.
And thank you, Hema, for connecting with Dr. Hebbar and telling him about the CTA community.
Yeah, I've been chasing him and making sure that he's there free for us.
Yeah, so thank you both, Hema and Dr. Hebbar, for making this happen.
No problems at all.
Hi, Anjana. Good to see you.
Hi, Shruti. How are you?
I am.
Namaste, Dr. Hebbar.
Hello. Namaste.
Hi, everyone.
Good to see you after a while.
I know. I'm busy with my own thing.
Anyone else would like to say hello? Please feel free.
Yeah, I've already given him my namaskar, so I'm okay.
Wonderful.
Namaskar. Thanks for making the time.
Sure. I mean, it's my pleasure.
We just give it a few minutes. Yeah, two, three more minutes, and then we can start. But till then, anybody else that would like to say hello, tell us where they're joining from. Would love to see you guys.
Hello. Hello, this is Jaya Vijay from Fremont, California.
Namaste.
Namaste. It's such a wonderful thing. I get your newsletter and I won't miss a single one. And I go through it, take notes. And you're doing such an amazing service to the world really now, rather than just India. So thankful for that. I'm looking forward to joining you. And thanks, Shruti.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Jaya.
Hello, Dr. Hebbar.
Hello. Namaste.
Namaste. Your name sounds so true, Janardhan. You are the true reflection of Ayurveda. We always refer to your articles, your education. I've been doing your Saturday morning courses, unimaginable. Thank you for doing this to us.
Seeking your blessings, sir. Namaste.
Wow, Dr. Hebbar, a lot of fans.
I just posted a newsletter with this invite just a couple of hours before. So
Wonderful. When I posted that we will be doing this session with you, so many people were chiming in and so excited to join. So I think that's just testament to the work that you have been doing.
Hello, this is Varsha.
Hi, Vaidya.
Namaste, Dr. Hebbar. I'm from Seattle, but actually I am currently in Portland. We just drove, my husband and I just drove last night. We arrived around midnight. So, but I wanted to connect to the session.
Welcome, Varsha. Thank you for joining.
I enjoy your articles a lot, Dr. Hebbar.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very informative. I've been following you since last 4-5 years, actually. I mean, not following you, but like keep reading your articles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Anyone else would like to say hello? I think in maybe another minute we will start.
Hello, Doctor. It's so wonderful to be here. We are all great fans of yours.
Thank you.
Anu. Yeah, hi. I'm at California. I'm studying the Ayurvedic doctor program, and we refer to your articles a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so
Namaste.
much. Namaste.
Wonderful. Welcome, Anu.
I just want to say thank you so much for being here too. A friend highly recommended your classes and I've just joined and they're fabulous. So thank you. I've learned so much in just a few short weeks.
Wonderful. All right. So we'll get started. Welcome everyone and happy Friday. Really glad that we have Dr. Hebbar here with us today. A lot of you already know of his work, and so I'm really thrilled that he could join us, and we have this opportunity to talk to him today about his journey as a Vaidya, and we get to learn from his experience. So thank you so much, Dr. Hebbar, for joining us today. Very grateful.
My pleasure, and happy Nagara Panchami to one and all. Today is the Nagara Panchami festival we celebrate in India.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Before we get started, I just wanted to share a little bit about the format with everybody. So if you could just take a quick moment, make sure you're on mute and your videos are switched off, then that will ensure that the conversation stays focused with Dr. Hebbar. So just please do that. Take a minute to do that. And then if you also, as some of you know who have attended before, but some of you may be joining us for the first time, the format of this conversation really is that, I ask Dr. Hebbar questions and we engage in a conversation. And if you would like to share your comments, if you would like to share any questions, you can put them in the chat. And then when we break for questions, you can either, speak up, share your questions, or Michelle will help us take some of the audience questions. So she will read them out. So depending on whatever you would prefer, you can engage and join in the conversation. We always try to take as many questions as we can because it's so great to, hear from the audience and also to get Dr. Hebbar to connect with the audience. So I love to always see that happen in this session. So we'll get started with that. Dr. Hebbar, so maybe we can just start by talking a little bit about, what is your journey of coming into Ayurveda? Really, what got you into Ayurveda? How did you become interested?
Yeah. In the childhood, I had like 4 fractures between age 8 to 12 and had a major abdominal operation. So I was almost frequently in hospitals, seeing many people suffering and all. So it drove that, doctor's profession really heals, and whoever we heal, the gratitude in their eyes and the satisfaction that we get, we rarely can get in, say, writing a code or doing law or some other profession. So it had attracted. But me getting into BAMS was not kind of intended. It was accidental that I was a little bit clueless kid when I was like 17, 18. So my mother, she put me to it at BAMS, and once I got into it, I had a little previous knowledge of Sanskrit, so I really got into the science and how the ancient textbooks, whatever they have told many thousand years before, they actually match with what the modern science says. And how wonderful it is that they were able to make a connection and really come up with very complex formulas like Trifla to Chyawanprash to Brahma Rasayana and all those things, alcoholic fermented products and whatnot. So in the first year I was not sure, but from second year onwards I was grateful.
Wonderful. So we have your mom to thank for you coming into Ayurveda. That's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, after BMS also, usually it happens. Even you might have observed in the Ayurveda practitioners in the US and all. So after 2 years and 3 years of Ayurveda studies, even after like 5.5 years of BMS studies, most of the people who come out might not be knowing what actually to do, or even for treatments also, they will not be like 100% ready to face the clients and treat, and or to have a setup of their own business and other knowledge will not be there with them, all thing ready. And I was also a little bit of kind of directionless in that way also, even after spending like 5.5 years of Ayurveda. Of course, I mean, I was having some knowledge of Ayurveda, but I was not sure. Then, my mother only pushed me through, and I mean, she is now a retired teacher. So at that time she was teacher, and always when you're unsure, go for post graduation so that you can specialize in one subject, and and then I got my support from my lecturers, professors, and also I went to the Ayurveda pharmaceutics and all. So I mean, one point that I want to make is that some of your community people maybe doing like 2 years or 3 years course. They might not be totally ready. It's so normal, and it happens with like 5.5 years, and sometimes even after MD also you'll be kind of directionless. In my case, like after MD also, for 2 months I was like running here and there for a job, and I was not getting a job, and I was my sister's home and all. So with that 5 to 8 years, it's difficult to get our head around this Ayurveda thing, and focus on a particular career, or establish a clinic or manufacturing center and all. So whoever are doing like 2 year, 3 year Ayurveda course, so you only have your fundamental set, which is very important, because Ayurveda in total depends on the breaking out into the fundamentals of doshas, body tissues, 5 elements, and whatnot. It's like thinking from the first principles that is an exclusive, that can be Ayurveda can be an exclusive science for that. So you have your fundamentals, all that is good. But if you feel like a little bit hesitant and all, please consider it as normal. Please keep on reading or taking up further courses or classes. So it's a journey rather than it's a destination that, oh, you are done 2 years and you are already figured out Ayurveda. It doesn't happen with all of us.
That's a wonderful way to put it, right? That it's a journey and it's not a destination. And I think that's really, perceptive of you to say that, because I think a lot of us feel that like we're not ready, or when we start the program versus when we finish the program, we thought that we will be ready, but then we don't feel ready, right?
Yeah, I mean, I am in association with at least 5 to 7 Ayurveda colleges currently. One in Netherlands, one in England, 5 in the US, and whatnot. So I mean, I first prepare the teachers there that this is going to happen, and the students coming out may blame you people for not getting them ready. So you have to kind of make their mentality so that it's a journey kind of thing, and you have to, I mean, the teachers there, if they carve out a plan for the future also, like do this course, or read this book and all, even after they have completed the course, that will be a kind of a guiding light. And as in my case, most of the lecturers who are teaching BAMS to me, so they are still in contact with me. So I mean, for that emotional and knowledge and academic and for overall support, guru is kind of very, very much required in this. It's not like a 2 year course and you are like a computer engineer. It doesn't happen like that.
Right. I am a computer engineer, so yeah, no, that makes sense. So I guess what I find fascinating, I think, about you specifically is that you do so many different things, right? Like you are practicing as a Vaidya. You are also writing, preparing, teaching, preparing teachers, preparing materials for students in collaboration with other universities. You also have Easy Ayurveda. right? Like there are all these sites where you're, so there's just so many things that you're doing. So I'd just love to hear a little bit about, like how do you think about your practice in Ayurveda and all of these different facets? How did they start? How did you start to engage in these things?
Yeah, I mean, primarily I did the MD, post-graduation in Ayurveda pharmaceutics. So when I did that, like I said, for a couple of months in Bangalore, my sister is in Bangalore, so I went there to her house and started. At the time, there were like nine Ayurveda pharmacies, including Himalaya and all the big names, Sneha Nature and all those things are there in Bangalore. So I just sent my resume to all of them, and I was thinking that I will get called by them and I will just go and join. But I mean, when the rubber hits the road, things look a little bit different. And so I mean,
The original plan was to join an Ayurvedic pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, pharmaceutical company. So I failed in 3 or 4 interviews. Then one pharmaceutical company called as AVN. So they are the pioneers in converting kashayams into tablets and bringing them to market. They were the pioneers in that.
Oh, okay.
So they gave a chance, and I went to Tamil Nadu, Madurai.
Right.
So with the blessings of goddess Meenakshi, I got started. I mean, who is the goddess temple in the temple of Madurai. So I got started there and worked there for a couple of years. Then they were building up an online pharmacy to serve for the Westerners or other countries, and they were also building a resort kind of a thing to attract foreign clients because the Ramesh Warrior, the MD there, is like big visionary. So he encouraged me to take up this online thing, and I started blogging from there, like writing articles few here and there. So I mean, after a couple of years, I mean, when I was there only, I got married, and my mother and wife, both are from Kannada, and we were in Tamil Nadu. So I mean, people were really nice and good. We had a time of our lives. We still miss that. But I mean, for my wife to carve a career out of her, for herself, and for me to think about future and all, I wanted a little bit more time to write articles, because it was really picking up. I mean, not in a very big way, just like between 50 to 150 readers per day. So that was after 2 years of writing. So then I came to a place near Mangalore here, Mudubudri.
And you were still writing for the company, or you had started writing independently by that time?
No, I mean, while in the company also, I mean, I just started this Easy Ayurveda as a side project.
Okay.
But I mean, at that time, blogging was a new thing. So just I was doing trial and error. But whatever the clients that I was getting, I was just pushing them to the to the resort or to the online pharmacy to buy medicines and all.
Okay.
And also, so I came to I'm back in Karnataka. I got the assistant professor job here. So in college, we get a little bit more time for ourselves. So it was like academics, and the library was big. So it was, I started writing more and more. And by 2014, the blogging, everything was improving. The audience were around 5,000 per day at that time by 2014. Then I really thought that, we had to go one way or the other, either teaching full time or this one. So I really wanted a field in which the hard work and reward matches. So I took up, and again, my mother and my wife, my family, everybody, even my mother-in-law who lives with us, so they all kind of supported me, and to make this decision. And so from 2014, I just really started writing more and more. And regarding the Ayurveda practice, I was not practicing like regularly. I was doing only the email and video consultations. So still I continue doing that. So I mean, with the audience growing, I got one multinational Indian company asking me to help them with their license of Ayurveda products. So I mean, one of the other projects start coming. Pure Indian Foods of New Jersey, US. Yes. So he was the first to contact me, reading my ghee articles. So he wanted some herbal ghee formulations to be done. Then Kerala Ayurveda, Mount Madonna. I got connected with so many wonderful people who supported me all the time. So by 2017-18, 2016, I was doing it all alone. Then I thought that I have wonderful connection with good professors here. So instead of me writing all the things, why not give them a chance? So I included Dr. Raghuram and Dr. Krishnamurthy sir, and so this is how the team grew, and now we are 8 people full time. Okay. And three professors contributing via online, online interviews, classes, articles, and so on. So this has been the journey.
Right, wonderful. Yeah. So I guess you started back in
2009.
2009. So yeah, it's been quite the journey. And so many different things that you guys have done. You're clearly like reaching a lot of people and helping a lot of people. So that's amazing to hear about the work that you're doing. So I guess how, as sort of Easy Ayurveda grew, and do you still continue to practice and see a lot of patients? Like how does your practice as a Vaidya sort of continue with this work that you're doing?
So now, I mean, in a month, I see around via email and video, I see around 20 to 25 clients in a month. Okay. Because the business, the writing, the blogging, even I only handle the IT part of it, back end of part of it. Okay. You can imagine it's
yeah.
It's still not in a good shape, but I mean, I'm slowly trying to build a IT team behind that. So I mean, managing all these things will take a lot of time. Yeah. And another thing is that I mean, there are so many Ayurveda Vaidyas who even from India and outside also they constantly write that I have helped them. Not I mean the whole team, Easy Ayurveda, so let's say. So yeah. Easy Ayurveda has helped them to upskill their knowledge, or add a new treatment medicine or a treatment protocol to their existing this one. So in a way, reaching many people, taking Ayurveda to the masses, to the general public, and also to the Vaidya community in India and outside, is probably a better better way to spend my time rather than on individual patients. So although I get a lot of emails and I try to reply to them to all and do that also.
Yeah, no, makes sense, right? I think everyone has their own sort of special skills and knowledge and abilities that they're bringing to Ayurveda, and it doesn't, I mean, I always feel like we tend to see when we start to learn Ayurveda, we tend to always focus on like we want to become a Vaidya, right? But I think there are so many other avenues to also contribute and add to this space. And I think like this is a very wonderful example of how you have been able to do that with your own heart and knowledge. So that's amazing. I like one thing I wanted to sort of understand better was that like when when you are still consulting with rogies as a Vaidya, is it mostly with rogies in India, or is it also internationally, because a lot of your students are international students, right?
Yes, I mean say around 30% or 40% are from outside India, and rest are from within India. So 40% are outside India. Yeah.
I see. Okay, got it. So does that ever, is it ever a consideration in terms of like regulations or health freedom? Because I know that there are a lot of students here who want to actually consult with people who are maybe not exactly local, but maybe they're consulting with them online. Are there any things that you try to do to make sure that it's all sort of as part of the regulations in US?
Yeah, see, I mean, if you are starting with consultation, and I really know the legal boundaries of online consultation, whether we can an Ayurveda doctor sitting in India, can he take the name of a disease, or cure? Can we use all those curative and therapeutic language or not? I'm not sure, but I come with like a heavy amount of disclaimers that whatever we are doing is nowhere near to direct one-to-one consultation. And even if we even I advise something, it's always good to check that prescription with a local Ayurveda doctor as much as possible. We do not promise anything, so it's very hard, because we may miss so many things, especially in email. At least in video consultation we can see one-on-one, but in email it's very hard. We are just working with the information that the client gives us. And product wise, whenever I prescribe, I take it from the online pharmacies, and which are there within US. For example, this Kerala Ayurveda has, this Kottakkal has, and our Ramdev products,
Right.
Amrita Ayurveda, so and Banyan botanicals and other things. So I pick herbs and medicines from locally. In that way, they can be sure of delivery, timely delivery, and also of quality also.
Got it. That makes sense. Among the rogies that you see, what are some of the more common issues that people are coming to you for?
Well, it depends from area to area. US underlying stress leading to stomach issues, sleep problems, thyroid, obesity, arthritis. So these are the common ones. And sometimes it also happens that we make a client who we are not in a position to treat. For example, I am not a cancer expert, so I have contacts with few cancer experts who run only specialized cancer centers in India. So I just refer them there, so that they get they get right treatment from right people.
Okay, got it. And so that's for the US rogies. Is it different for rogies in India, the more common conditions that people come to you for?
Yeah, in India, starting from COVID to wide variety. It's very hard to categorize like that. General arthritis, skin conditions, obesity, neurological conditions, paralysis, neuropathic conditions like neuralgia, headache, trigeminal neuralgia, diabetes, a variety of things. Yeah.
Got it. And then in terms of chikitsa, because rogies are in US, do you try to do anything different in terms of what protocols you're suggesting, or Panchakarma, how should they take care of that, right? What's your experience there?
Yeah, so if it's a clear-cut condition in which Panchakarma is required, I will try to find out a local Ayurveda doctor. If I can connect, then they can undergo a Panchakarma there. But most of these American people, they will be introduced to these Ayurvedic herbs for the first time, so probably a strong Panchakarma might not be required, and most of the things get sorted out with just a hair oil application, or application of Brahmi Taila for on the forehead, closed ears and temple, so at night before sleeping. So all those very simple things, and
lifestyle practices,
adding a little bit of discipline to their lifestyle and all will help. And wherever I feel, this Virechana I use a little, because it helps with Pitta, obviously, and with Pitta it also eliminates Kapha also a little bit. And with Vata Anulomana happening, with the downward movement of Pitta and Vata, even Kapha also comes out. So Vama and all are there out of question, but Virechana sometimes I advise with, say, very simple herbs like in a very low dose, for example, 10 grams of Avipatti Karachurna, or 10 to 15 ml of castor oil at night or in the next morning. So I try to do that. But with increasing Ayurveda awareness, many people will come when they say that, I want to cleanse liver or colon or anything. So, they are ready to take bigger risks. So I would go with a little bit of Snehana Svedana also, along with the Virechana. Yeah.
Okay. So you gauge if people are ready to do a little more, and then,
Yeah.
All right. So what would you say are sort of, the areas that you really feel passionate about, like given that so many different health conditions, do you have like a certain specialty or do you operate more as a generalist?
Yeah, allergic respiratory conditions, mind, stress related, sleep problems, neurological conditions, neuromuscular conditions, arthritis, pain, all those things. So these excite me more. Nowadays, I'm trying to include more, a little bit of, increasing my range through including a little bit of skin diseases more and more, treating skin diseases more and more.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I just go by blocks, like system by system. I try to cover, and try more and more range of disease, range of medicines, and all. Yeah.
Got it. Wonderful. So I was thinking that maybe this is a nice point to, break for questions. If folks in the audience would like to share any comments, thoughts, questions, then we can do that now. So, if any of you would like to participate, please either, drop your notes in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself and switch on your video and ask your question. And maybe Michelle can also help us coordinate a little bit. Michelle, do you see any questions so far? Michelle, can you hear us? Okay, I'm not sure if Michelle is able to.
That allows one to.
Michelle?
If there is a question, I can answer that. And
Sure.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay, that's okay. Go ahead. I'll join later.
So, can I talk about
Hello?
ways Ayurveda is addressing COVID in India in a very big way, actually? What has happened is that, with the Delta wave affecting here in the last, last three to 4 months, all the centers were overwhelmed with a lot of cases. So Ayurveda colleges and hospitals associated with Ayurveda colleges, they were also roped in to they were also roped in to treat COVID. So we are like hand in hand with the allopathic. We are hand in hand with the allopathic community, and we are giving starting from Nasya to even some people have done Vamana, Dhumapana, herbal smoking, nasal drops, to from a simple medicine as simple as Talisadi Churna to a hardcore medicine as Ratnagarbha Potali or Hemagarbha Potali, which are metallic compounds. So it has been used in full range, and probably that was one. Ayurveda has been a good contributor, and it was the reason why we came out of the Delta wave bit way early than what statistics suggested. Yeah, could you please comment on herbs and formulations manufacturing in India? So now the Ayurvedic herbs and medicines that are manufactured in India both are like organic. Is a kind of a new trend. Organic farms are getting limelight, and Ayurveda products are also coming with organic brand attached to it. So organic farming is growing, and even with the other side also, even non-organic also, because we prescribe Ayurveda products for just a couple of months and all, and so it doesn't matter if it is organic and non-organic, but the public perception has grown. People would want to use, say, an herbal toothpaste rather than a chemical one. So every brand has started coming up with their own herbal toothpaste, or at least putting the leaves on the green leaves on their label.
Right.
So it has been growing, and also there is this problem also with the raw material availability. So that problem is also there, and some companies compromising in their qualities. So all those things which happen with as scale the things up. So those are also there, but there are umpteen number of good Ayurveda manufacturers bringing out efficacious Ayurveda products, taking the holding the baton of Ayurveda and taking the science forward. So it really is a big this one. I mean, if somebody wants to manufacture something and come up, so manufacturing has become very easy. But marketing is becoming very difficult as we go forward. So that is the situation here now.
Got it. I think Anjana was trying to speak. Anjana, please go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Hebbar, I have a question regarding, I know I asked about the manufacturing, but what other companies are really doing the authentic work of manufacturing? Because there's so many companies coming up, and we sitting here in the US, it's hard to find out the authenticity of the herbs or formulation that being manufactured or getting it here. So do you have any idea about that? Resources, if you can share?
Yeah, Kottakkal is highly reputed. So you have got Kottakkal.shop. Mr. Nimai Pandit has done a very tremendous job in getting associated with Kottakkal Ayurveda Shala here, one of the ancient most Ayurveda pharmacies, and contacting the FDA there, and complying with all the rules and setting up an online Ayurveda pharmacy there. So Kottakkal products are good. I mean, from India, I'm speaking. Kottakkal is good. Kerala Ayurveda, they come with the big power, and their authenticity is well known through education and also through their medical service and Ayurveda products. They are also good. Then certain products of certain companies are good. Like Organic India, almost all products of them are good. Maharishi Ayurveda is a good one. And there is no, I mean, if we have heard, I mean, even when we start like using different products from different companies as an Ayurveda practitioner, when we start, we'll not be sure. I mean, we might have heard the brand names and all. So we have to take that leap of faith and start trying new things and trying new products and new things. And so I mean, slowly we get confidence, and we attend conferences or Vaidyas meeting each other. Oh, that company, that product is good, this is not good. So this is how we also here in India, we make up our mind to choose different pharmacies and all. So not all products of all companies are good. So it comes with like trial and error. So it's very hard when hard to pinpoint on this one. And another thing that another thing can be a criteria can be that if the company has done really hard work of establishing their supply channels to US through legal routes, and not just bulk shipping into a particular small importer and all. So if they are doing the hard work of documentation, like Kerala Ayurveda is doing, like even Kottakkal is doing. So if they are into proper documentation, heavy metal analysis, reports, there are so many things to be complied with. So if someone is putting, like Himalaya is doing, so if a company is complying with all those things and they're really doing hard work, it itself is an indication that that company is kind of authentic. Now, I'm not saying that some products that are there directly available in Amazon, so they may be shipping from somewhere from Europe or from India directly, and all. I'm not saying that they are bad. But I'm just saying that one who has done some kind of a research, and they're doing some efforts to put themselves in the US map with the proper documents and all. So those can definitely be trusted.
Dr. Hebbar, I have one comment, one question. You mentioned in US mostly you handle the rogies or patients. who have mind and stress related, sleep related issues. Why do you think that particularly in US, these things very common? While I believe that in India, the Westernism is also coming there. People are getting more Westernized, both fast living and diabetes is increasing every day. So why do you think that this is very common in this country? I fail to understand. Is it because of the like running after things or worrying about the future? What is your experience and how can we alleviate that?
Yeah, like you said, we Indians are, we copy the West, and we are also getting sleep problems and lifestyle and diabetes and other things. I mean, one of the problems. Let me not be political in this. Also, one of the problems with the in the Western is like overabundance should not cause excessive hunger for worldly matters. So if we are, I just read a sentence somewhere that Americans are busy in working and England people are busy living their lives. I mean, this is not, I do not know much about it. So, work, achieving things, becoming a millionaire, then becoming multi-millionaire, then becoming like centimillionaire, then billionaire. The steps to wealth is unlimited, and you can achieve so many things. So it is a good thing for US. Innovation and other things are happening rapidly in US more than any other country. So that's a good thing. So attached with that, too much modernism. Living lonely. This is a big problem in Germany. So there was a study around 50 to 60% of Germans, they have one or the other stomach problems because they are never satisfied with the things that around them. So they are like very specific. So I mean, for example, in India, trash segregation we do in 3 cans only. So one wet, one dry, and one sharp metals and cotton and other things. So the Germans have like 7 segregation cans. So they are like very specific. So if we are kind of very specifically, we want our life to go in only one direction, when there is no room for marginal benefits, or if we do not live our life with our family and our hobbies and our work, everything well balanced. These kind of stomach and stress and mind related things keep on coming up. So Swami Vivekananda, when he came, he saw that, and he said that in 1900s only. He said that he sees a lot of people in America are transforming themselves from tamas to rajas. I mean, tamas means like inactiveness, lethargy, and all. So from there, they were transforming to rajas. Rajas means being active, business kind of thing, worldly things and all. So, I mean, he only said that, the spiritual journey of everyone starts with tamas, then goes to rajas, where he is totally attracted everywhere. And then once the personal needs are met, then he will think about sattva, sattvic nature, spirituality and all. So I hope that in not only the Western world, everybody, all of us should have some kind of a spiritual angle to it. It can be a religious angle also. Religion is one of the steps to achieve spirituality. So one or the other way, singing a little bhajan or chanting Om, or visiting a temple. It can be any simple or any complex matters. It can be meditation for 1 hour for very expert fellows. So we have to have all aspects covered: spiritual, physical, mental, and social. Only then we'll have, you can imagine about having a perfect health.
Thank you, Dr. Hebbar.
Michelle, can you please direct us to the next question?
Yes, we have a couple of questions here about COVID. First of all, what can we do with the new variant spreading Ayurvedically, especially for preventive measures for children? And the other question about COVID is, what about the long-term effects? How can we help those that are still experiencing side effects like hair fall, high blood pressure, low energy?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for prevention of COVID, even with the children also, I mean, there are arguments on either sides whether the next variant will be affecting children or not. So, any which ways, this Amrita system is kind of universal immunity modulator. Plus, it is given for treatment also, and the ingredients of that will also help everyone with improving respiratory immunity. So, I mean, out of all the things that are available, Amrita it looks like a very good contender to keep all the to take as a prevention this one, or any spice herbal teas that you make will also give considerable amount of respiratory immunity, and it will prepare your lungs and the whole of the immunity to fight. So those two, any herbal teas with ginger, holy basil, cinnamon, cardamom, long pepper fruit, black pepper fruit, vidanga or fast black pepper, bail, vilva, bail. So I mean these neem, curry leaves, turmeric. So these are the commonly used respiratory this one. So as a preventive measure, this can be used, and our regular dinacharya, regular exercise, oil massage at least once a week or once in 2 weeks, nasal drops, Anutailam nasal drop, which acts as, I mean, just yesterday I was teaching, and the Nasya procedure, there are 2 types. One is Marsha and Pratimarsha. This Pratimarsha is just 2 drops to each nostril. So that is done, that is prescribed to be done every day by everyone 5 to 7 times, 5 to 8 times in a day. So after taking bath, after having food, after laughing, after excessive talking, so and all. So it itself was, I mean, they were knowing about these viruses and also these are not new things which have come up in recent times. And so they were giving Nasya regularly definitely will give protection to the, it will act as a protective layer to fight all the, virus that enters into through the nasal cavity. So all these things, even herbal smoking also in that way. And in India, you might or might not be knowing that associated with the post COVID complications, mucormycosis is a nasal fungus infection which spreads rapidly into eyes. Some people started losing eyes and all. So in that, this herbal smoking has been rigorously used as a curative measure. We have wonderful cases. A lot of Ayurveda doctors from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi, they have treated mucormycosis very successfully, and herbal smoking was one of the good things. Just take a little bit of Google or shellaki or agar wood and burn it and take the smell. And that's as simple as that. So that is regarding the preventive thing. Coming to the post COVID recovery, Chyawanprash is kind of ideal. It helps with vascular complications, keeps the Agni high. Once the Agni is normalized, it helps in Agni will improve the immunity, the Dhatu recovering the lost Dhatu, all those things. Chyawanprash will help. And there are herbs like Ashwagandha, Shilajit, Shatavari. Some people are committing suicides here post COVID. Depression has been a common thing. So Ashwagandha, Brahmi, so all these herbs really help. It depends on case to case, and and their prakriti, and many things are there. So these can be the general guidelines, I would say.
Got it. Okay. Maybe we can take one more question and then we'll move on. So
Can I ask a question? I raised my hand.
Yes,
This is my Mukhopadhyay, Dr. Hebbar, first time seeing you and hearing you. Thanks for that. I'm a yoga practitioner and yoga therapist, and I come across a lot of patients, who have different stages of cancer. I have a couple of cases with, very advanced stages of kidney diseases, nephritis, and other things. Mm-hmm. So my question to you, and I have tried to get Ayurvedic doctors here as well as in India to kind of specialize, who specializes on those, and I couldn't find any. So that's number one. The number two thing is, the thing that I have is, and it's a more generic question, is what do you see? Ayurveda has transformed itself from the different rishis. They have added their own take and additions to this science. In modern times, how is Ayurveda taking into consideration, this Rajasic way of life? Not only here as well as in India, the fast pace, the stress, the different types of diseases coming out of stress, including cancer, and also, the advance of technology, whether it's artificial intelligence or cryogenics. I had a little debate in some classes. You are always saying you have to cook and eat the same day and all that, and that's fresh. But the application of cryogenics, people are thinking of going to different parts of the universe. You can freeze it and keep it as normal as life in ways. The technology is very, very deep and serious. And how do we do that? How do we incorporate or change or modify the tradition of Ayurveda to suit the modern purposes? I think there is a lot of work to be done here, and there is a lot of people don't come to Ayurveda because, for example, I have told a lot of my students, I've told them to, do cook. I said, Sanmayji, how will I cook? I mean, I have such a busy life, I cannot cook like this. So the cryogenics and the deep freezing techniques are very good. People can store and eat even after, and we use frozen food anyways. In the value chain, there's a lot of frozen food out there. So if you can generally, address this whole issue of modernization of Ayurveda, it's not, the tradition is very good. The foundations are good. The principles are good. But how do we, cater to and be on top of the modern era? Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, it can. I mean, one thing is that it cannot be like the olden times. The times are different here. So there should be a marriage between the current needs, current lifestyle, current way of cooking, or current way of living with the ancient one. It needs to be hybrid. And we cannot be very rigid in expecting people to go back to very ancient times. But there are kind of very simple ways in which the life modifications can be achieved. So I mean, some things like waiting for hunger to manifest and only then eating. So not munching many different things. Even if it is refrigerated, also at least semi-refrigerated. I mean, so take out the raw materials out of refrigerator, keep it for some time, and then cook. Even if that is not possible, I understand that there are frozen foods, ready-made frozen foods that are there available. At least make a herbal tea, hot and fresh, and have it once a day at least. So, and sleep, avoid day sleeping, or have an oil massage and sauna therapy at least once a month. So this can be like the entry points for a non-believer of Ayurveda, or whoever is like too busy to do all those things. So it is not like I as an Ayurveda practitioner, I will tell and you have to do it. It doesn't work that way. So it's kind of a, even they have to reap benefits out of these small changes. So then they get interested, and then they will go for harder things that of self-cooking amidst busy lifestyle and all. So at least if the client says like all these things, so at least get some entry points and make 3 to 5 very easy to do lifestyle alterations in him or her, and then make them to become comfortable, and then take it to the next stage. For example, a professional couple cannot cook, so at least in the weekends they can cook and have fresh food. So there will be some entry points, minor entry points. At least they will be making coffee fresh, so they can make herbal tea. So, and if somebody is eating excessively. So, I mean, 4 meals can be at least brought back to 3 meals, and then they can think of, cutting down to 2 meals a day. So, I mean, these things, they take a lot of time, and, lifestyle change or changing of any habit, it doesn't happen in just one go. So it has to be smooth, and the clients need to be comfortable adopting it. And even in Ayurveda also, wrong food combinations, wrong habits, they have been explained. And at the end of it, even Master Vagbhata Charaka, everybody says that, so one who has got accustomed to a wrongful habit, so it may become satmya, it may become very congenial to the client. So do not change a whole thing and make a new rules in their lives all of a sudden. So it says, if I remember correctly, padam, they say. Padam means like 1/4. So the change has to happen by quarter, slowly and slowly but surely. So it's kind of a journey for everyone, even for us also. I mean, we pose ourselves as a big Ayurveda doctors. We have many things which we do which are not so in line with Ayurveda. So it is for us and for everybody, it's a kind of a journey from wrong things to minor right things, and then more and more right things.
Got it. Yeah, that's a great point. I think it's not about doing everything. It doesn't have to be 100% everything. However, an improvement, some progress is definitely desirable. So that's a good point. I know we have only a couple of more minutes remaining before the hour is up. So, but there are actually a lot of questions, and I know some people have actually been waiting with their hand up. There are a lot of questions in the chat also. So I just wanted to check if you have a few minutes to continue after 10 a.m. Then we can go over and we can make sure.
Sure. We'll answer them all.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So I'll ask you like a quick couple of quick questions, and then we can go back to taking some of the audience questions. So since we were talking about lifestyle, I was curious, are there things that you follow personally in your own life every day from that help you, and that you think also, like from a rogi perspective, you recommend to people?
Yeah. And what I do personally, which helped me, which I also recommend everyone, is one is that I apply hair oil at night, so that eyes become like, otherwise mind will be like going in different directions, and tomorrow I have to do this and do that and all those things. So applying hair oil at night really has helped me to deepen the sleep for sure. So that one I do it very, very regularly, and I'm trying to switch to 2 meals a day from 3 meals. At least I have, breakfast I take very little, so that, and I really, nowadays it has become a habit that I really wait for hunger to manifest. So sometimes what happens is that, Ayurveda says that we feel hunger and we have to eat. So I mean, we'll be waiting for the hunger to come by 1 p.m. in the lunch time. And when I feel a little tickle in the tummy, we just go and eat. So now I really wait and see that if it is real hunger or it's just my mind, it's just mind game that's happening. So that, and drinking water only when I'm thirsty, and drinking till I quench my thirst. That's something I follow. Exercise, it's kind of you win some, you lose some game for me. A regular exercise I try to do, but not so successful. Reading, some religious things like puja, shloka. These are the things that I do regularly, and occasionally I do nasya for myself. So these are the things that I do I try to do on a daily basis.
Got it. And how do you sort of keep up to date on, recent things that are happening, whether in Ayurveda or in the broader, medical profession, research? Is there?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is like, highly important that we keep ourselves up to date. So on an ideal day, I have 50 minutes for video watching, where I just watch videos of other seminars. Nowadays in YouTube, every seminar is getting relayed. So I just watch interviews or other things. So in an ideal day, 50 minutes are spent for that, and 50 minutes are spent for reading books. For example, recently I read Lifespan, written by David Sinclair, Professor David Sinclair, Harvard professor. I watch a lot of Ayurvedic videos of seminars and all. Recently, I watched about this Kuti Praveshika Rasayana, which I was having a class to take, so I watched that. So whatever your subjects are there, so I try to watch. So 50 minutes for that and 50 minutes for this is ideal. But for, to be honest, for last 10 days, I have not done that. And now I'm reading about Michael Greger, How Not to Die, of Michael Greger. A very interesting book where he breaks down the benefits of more vegetarian diet and all those things. And I also read a lot regarding the business and also. For example, I'm not sure whether I'm going to do or not. I have read like how to build a billion dollar app.
Okay. It's a good mix of medical science, business. Yeah, very nice. These are great recommendations actually for our book club also. We do a book club every other month. So we are right now, I don't know if Shagun is here. She leads our book club, but we're reading Ikigai, which is one of the, So
on my to-do list, yes.
Yeah. But these are great book recommendations actually. And then I guess the last question that I really wanted to ask, and I know many students here will also be interested, is that how do you work actively mentoring students? I know that you teach and there's a lot of classroom live classes or recorded classes, etc. But do you teach? Do you sort of work in mentoring students to sort of make the transition from classroom to actual practice? Whether it be one-on-one or group settings, or do you have recommendations for how they should seek mentors?
Yeah, I myself do mentorship, and we have Dr. Krishnamurthy who practices regularly. He sees more than 100 cases a week. And we have recently added my own principal of BAMS, Dr. Gururaja. So we have at least 4 to 5 people who practice regularly and who also do mentorship. I get around 4 to 5. My mentorship people who approach me are only for cases. They got a case, they have advised a few things, so they want to understand the disease better, pick up better herbs, or a Panchakarma plan, all those things. And teaching wise, and I do the weekly online classes every Saturday 7 to 8 p.m. and there are 220 students for that from all over India. So that's it. Now we are coming up with one different session called as Guru Bodha, where I and Dr. Guraja sir, he is very good in practice, and also he's updated fellow, and he reads a little bit more about research and all. So we are doing that. So just how they get started is just by writing an email, and we get started there. And I mentor a practitioner from Israel. And Dr. Krishnamurthy, he mentors continuously a practitioner from Italy and Germany. So so we do it as and when we do not go and seek, but whoever seeks, we try to help.
Right. Wonderful. Very nice. We also have a WhatsApp group for Chikitsa. So if it may be convenient for you, it'll be great actually if you could be a part of that group, because that's there's no commitment here, obviously, but we do have a lot of Vaidyas who are on that group, and when students post questions on cases that they are dealing with, then it's nice for us to be able to get advice from Vaidyas like you. So I would invite you to be part of that, and I'm happy to send you the link to join the group. And
sure. And we also have a Easy Ayurveda group where all these Ayurveda Dr. Raghuram Krishnamurthy, everybody is there, and they with before and after treatment poses, they share their treatment plans. and all. And we also have like India program where I'm associated with the Sharda Hospital. Unfortunately, for last 16 months, we are not being able to do that. But that was running very nicely. I mean, we in a matter of 10 months, we trained more than 40 Ayurveda students from Russia and US and Germany and Europe. So that also we are hoping to get back to by November, December, fingers crossed.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lot of comments where people are thanking you. So I just want to get back to the questions. So Revati has had her hand up for a while. Revati, do you want to ask your question?
Sure. First of all, thank you, Dr. Hebbar. I enjoy your site so much. I've used it innumerable amount of times. But you spoke in the beginning. You spoke about how even after doing BAMS, you felt very unsure and not really completely prepared, and how even after 2 years, there's it's very difficult for us to feel prepared. And one of the things I realized is that I never, after finishing my AWP course, I never actually read like any of the Brihatrayi. Like I never actually read it, from cover to cover, or all the parts, or even, one whole part. And I started doing that recently with Ashtanga Sangraha Vagbata, which I just reading the English portion itself, I feel like that has helped me so much deepen my own understanding of Ayurveda. And that's just, one of the Brihatrayi. And what is your advice to people? Like, it would be great. I know you have Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana and Charaka Samhita Sutrasthana, and you've broken that sort of down on your website. And do you have plans to do something more extensive in the future? I would certainly appreciate it. And also the second part of that question is, a good bridge between spending our time reading the ancient Brihatrayi or Lagutrayi, whatever, to how things are practiced in modern day. As opposed to, a lot of times we go through our course and we just read the course manuals, which of course is great. And I'm very thankful for everything that I've learned. But, definitely there's a lot more information that you can get from reading the source material.
Yes. One is that it's a very good habit to, from reading from cover to cover, taking one Samhita and, read a few pages every day. So, that's no doubt, it's one of the healthy habits to do. And another thing that we can do is that at least by second year, we know that, Kamala is kind of a liver disorder, Pandu is somewhat related to anemia. We know Sandhivata is arthritis, Amavata is rheumatoid, and Vata-Rakta is gout. And we know vascular disorders are Rakta and Vata and, related. So we know a few things. So what I even when there is a complex case, say ulcerative colitis with severe cardiac disorder, say, so I still go back to that particular chapter in Charak Samhita and read regarding what he has explained, which srotas, which agnis hamper, and which medicines for which dosha. So it all is these things are there, laid out. So one thing is to read page by page, page after page, and another one is like when we have a disease, at least in the initial, my style has been that, give something for 15 days and watch how the progress goes, and then fine tune the medicines based on the, based on the progress that has been done. So in that 15 days, if I'm really not sure of my own prescription, then I will go back to this Ashtanga Hridayam. It is just very similar to a therapeutic index book. A particular disease, a few set of medicines. It's very clearly written there. Even Charaka also, a little bit complex and deep, but still there are a lot of medicines which are still available in US very easily. So just keep on referring disease by disease and try to improvise the understanding of the disease and also the range of medicines. Ashtanga Hridayam is very good to improve the range of medicines that you have. So that's one thing. And we have written Charasamhita, Sutasana, Chikisasthana, that we have written, and Ashtanga Sutasthana we have written, but we have bigger plans. We are working on Sushruta Samhita to come up and to finish other sthanas of even Charak Samhita and Ashtanga Hridayam also. So we plan to cover all those things. I mean, work is continuously ongoing. I mean, like I said, we have like 8-9 people full-time working, those writing and editing. I mean, many projects are there in many different things. So, I mean, we will be publishing everything online for free in Easy Ayurveda website. So, and how to make a connection, and connection is just the name is sufficient. That, you know, if it is Kamala, go to the Kamala chapter. And not only that, even we have other textbooks or other therapeutics books like Baishaja Ratnavali, Chakradatta, Bhava Prakasha. These are also wonderful textbooks. These were written in a recent years. So just get to know the disease name and try to find the chapter in the textbooks and read and understand and try to incorporate those medicines. So that is how. Yeah.
Wonderful. If you need any volunteers to help you with anything, I'm happy to volunteer in my small little way for expanding Ashtanga, any of the sutras. I'm happy to help.
Sure, that will be really great. I'll make a note of it. Yeah.
Wonderful. So there is one question that there were actually a couple of questions related to COVID that were there. So, and I know like COVID itself is a huge topic, so I want to keep it short. But the question that we have here is that from Archana, and so her question is, what advice would you give to patients who have recovered from COVID but having side effects like hair fall, high BP, and low energy? And also related to COVID is another question, which is, the Delta variant is picking up and affecting kids in US and other countries as well. What can we do as a preventive measure for kids specifically as they're going back to school? And there's one more question actually related to COVID also, which is, do you recommend Indukantha Kwatham for COVID rogies who have lost their sense of taste and smell? So I just wanted to sort of combine all the COVID questions together.
Yeah, for children, like I told, Amrita Aristam is very good, and in a cup, at least if not 2 drops, 1 drop of Anutailam Nasya on both nostrils, and any herbal tea in a very mild diluted form. So ginger tea or tulsi tea in a very mild diluted form. Of course, they are having tender dhatus, tender tissues, so not hardcore. Minor form, maybe sweetened with a little bit of honey or cooled down. So so Amrita Aristam, or at least any guduchi containing compound, or add guduchi to your herbal tea itself. So along with a little bit of ginger, so that looks the best way, along with the Nasya 2 drops to both nostrils. And Indukantham for loss of taste and smell. The loss of taste and smell will take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 2 to 3 months in very rare cases. So it will take a lot of time. So it's part of a symptom. It's not a particular symptom to be targeted in a general treatment of post-COVID protocol with say Chyawanprash with an herbal tea or any Arista, Ashwagandha. So all these things will improve immunity, digestion strength, and it will help to fight. Of course, Indukantham is also very good immunity immunomodulator medicine, so that can also be given.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. All right. And I guess the last question, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time, is so I'll take the question from Shubro, which is, what is the situation in India as of now bringing Ayurvedic studies into primary education and schools? Are there Vaidyas or organizations that are working with local and central governments or schools to bring Ayurveda into basic primary education?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some some efforts going on, but Ayurveda first of all, rather than introducing into Ayurveda to the children, now there is a 7-day Ayurveda course, Ayurveda, Unani, yoga, everything mixed up course for MBBS doctors, like modern Western doctors in India. So that's a good step. So I mean, the Indian government is very bullish on Ayurveda, and they want to pursue Ayurveda. Even they have pushed Ayurveda to WHO and legalizing Ayurveda as recognizing Ayurveda as a healthcare system in Europe. Many countries have already approved, and it's an ongoing process. And many Ayurveda doctors in Dubai, they have got this golden visa recently.
Okay.
So I mean, Ayurveda is spreading everywhere. And for children, we need to be a little careful. Healthy, disciplined lifestyle, all those things are good, but not hardcore medicines or even herbal teas. Also, we need to be careful while teaching them that. So it is more. Ayurveda has such a huge scope because its penetration is still very low, even in a country like India. So that itself brings an opportunity. So teach the parents first, and then teach the kids. Parents themselves will teach whatever necessary is for kids. So I mean, academically, Ayurveda penetrating into the primary, primary school syllabus has not yet happened, but I hope it will happen in future for sure.
Wonderful. Okay. All right, that's about it for the questions. I just wanted to ask if you have any, final thoughts, parting words that you would like to share with the community. I'm sure everybody is very grateful that you were able to join today. And if there's anything that we can do as a community to support you further, any areas where you are looking for help or assistance, please feel free to share.
Yeah, one thing is that I have a little complaint about some Ayurveda students in the US that Vidya Dadati Vinayam, it is told. So knowledge brings about humility, humbleness. So that's one thing. And even Ashtanga Hridayam tells us that. I mean, Master Babuta says Ayurveda Upadesheshu Videya Paramadaraha. Obedience, being humble, learning attitude is very, very much required. Just with two years of Ayurveda learning, or even with, in my case, 20 years of Ayurveda learning will not make anyone perfect. So in a conference or in other places, do not try to push yourself like, they do the standard marketing. Do not try to market yourself much. Be humble and also listen rather than just speaking, and do not show off, because it's a very humbling, and there are lots of ups and downs in Ayurveda practice. So we'll be sure that in a simple case of rhinitis, allergic rhinitis, you'll be sure that in a week he'll be fine, but he'll go into pneumonia. It happens even with me, with everyone. And a very difficult case like complex cardiac disorder gets solved out very this one. So in this tumultuous journey of healing the pain of the people, being humble is the best principle, best mantra. And another thing is, so overconfidence I have covered. Even underconfidence is also not good. You have the basic tools, you have all the resources, YouTube is there, and everyone. I have not seen any Ayurveda doctor who would not help other practitioner in formulating and all. Of course, for a fee, because it's business come service together. So back yourself up. Whatever you know is sufficient. Yeah, of course, there is scope for improvement, but back yourself up and treat with confidence. Whatever you give, even ginger works, tulsi works, ashwagandha works, single herb, polyherb combination, it doesn't matter. Just back yourself. And I'll tell you a story. After BMS, I was sitting in a medical store, Ayurveda medical store. So the idea was that I will just because it's a medical store, I made friends with him, and I was sitting there, so that whenever a prescription comes, Ayurveda prescription comes, it's an Ayurveda medical store. So I would just see this, because in a case sheet, in the top part, it will be like symptoms. In the bottom part, it will be medicines. So I will just cover the bottom part and read the top part. So BP is this much, sugar is this much, this, that. So I will think like what I would do. I mean, that was just a directionless BAMS guide. So what I would prescribe if this client had come to me. And then I will open and see and compare my knowledge with that. And I was not very far. I'm not pushing myself as an intelligent creature. I mean, I just scored like 62%. So that's another story. So what I'm saying is like, you will not be far. And, even if you know very basic herbs like Dashamula, Amrutotaram Kashayam, ginger, 10 to 20 herbs. So they are sufficient enough to start a practice, and then you have to pick up and improve your range, improve your armory, improve your weapons. One after the other. So back yourself. Do not be underconfident. Never in front of a client. Always be in control. Try to be as much, and also do not be overconfident that I am the expert in particular thing. You are not, or I am not.
Right. Wonderful. That's very wise. Both like, I guess, keeping yourself grounded, not be overconfident, not be underconfident, and making sure that we are applying what we are learning and using that. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Hebbar. This was a wonderful session. I'm really, really grateful that you could take the time and join all of us today, even though it's very late for you on a Friday night. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And before we leave, just a quick note that we have a couple of upcoming events with CTA. So if the community would like to join us, I just want to quickly share. So at the end of the month, we will have our monthly community hours event. And then next month, we also have book club and the next episode of In Conversation with the Vaidya. So looking forward to seeing everybody. And Dr. Hebbar has also shared his contact details in the chat if you would like to reach out to him and connect with him. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.